you recall, we have gold in our capital, which we can't.
Oh.
We need
Okay.
mining in order to grab. So let's go ahead and go to next turn now.
Whoa.
Oh, that's rough, man. You have two really rough civilizations. Montezuma, always killer, and Genghis Khan of the Mongols is also a killer. So you got two really tough civilizations to contend with.
Yikes.
But
Can I
we'll,
like befriend one of them and fight the
you
other?
might be able to befriend both of them, but it's not. They will try to kill you at some point. So let's go ahead and keep going.
That sucks. Oh
Yeah.
wait. What? Oh, that's him.
Yeah, you can move to the east. Let's take a look at his lands.
Like, right here.
Yeah,
Should I not move through him or
you move right there. Yeah,
right here?
yeah. Okay. Now get that ruins.
Crudely drawn map. Okay.
Okay, so
Ragusa.
Ragusa's right there. There's not really a city worth settling down there, but it's worth meeting Ragusa. So the problem here is, in order to meet Ragusa, you're gonna have to kill that barbarian camp or go all the way around. I recommend killing the barbarian camp for the simple reason that you won't have to deal with it later if you kill it now.
Also, I don't know how combat works in this game, so I can
I'll
figure
show
that
you.
out.
So let's move east a little bit, just one tile, and you should have another movement point. Let's see if we can see their city. Yeah, that's their capital. Okay, now let's go south a little bit now.
Okay.
So now we know where the Aztecs are and the Mongols are.
Alright, so he wants me to adopt a policy.
Yes, so collective rule is what I would recommend right there. Okay?
Speeds training of settlers by 50%.
Yeah.
Capital and free settler appears.
So this basically lets you build settlers way faster, and it also gives you a free settler, which you normally would have had to spend, a couple turns on.
This one.
Yes, so what you want to do is move your warrior north.
Right here?
Yes. And move your settler east.
Okay.
Okay?
You want like this as a supporting role to go?
Yes, because
Yeah,
if you run into a barbarian, they'll just take your settler and you'll lose it for no reason.
Alright, so if where do I build? Like, around here? Somewhere?
Where I would recommend settling your city is
Cotton.
could you click right here really quick? No, click back. Could you click this?
This one.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with hide recommendations,
Uh-huh.
and then yield icons.
Whoa.
Okay. So and resource icons as well. So we're gonna turn this on just for considering where to settle a city.
Mm-hmm.
Along this river for sure, because as you'll notice, there's extra gold to be had along a river, so that's always a bonus. But we have to also consider that up north here, there's horses, cattle, stone, and more. And south here, we have wheat, cotton, and that dye that we've been eyeing.
Right here.
Yeah, so what you...
happiness.
Yeah, 4 happiness, and you have 9, so that's a considerable amount. So what I would recommend is settling here, actually, in that forest, and buying this tile and buying that tile, the dyes and the wheat, and then also settling a city up north here. So you have 2 cities very close to each other, both of them between your capital and his capital. And what that will do is you'll have a great buffer city, a great line here of defense. And you'll also have luxury resources that he won't, as well as strategic resources that he won't. So 2 cities, a little bit close to each other, if I'm being honest, but worth it for defensive purposes.
Okay. Next turn. Head south.
Yeah. Actually, head east really quick. Don't worry about. Let's just use the scout as kind of a throwaway unit to explore the entire map to meet more civilizations. Because a big part... No, wait. Let's not move that settler. Move that settler right here to this tile to the south. Yeah, and move that warrior on top of it.
Oh, they can stack on each other.
That's correct. So war units such as warriors, scouts, and other units, they can't be on the same tile, but war units and supporting units such as settlers and workers, they can be on the same tile.
Okay.
And that's critical because when you're moving units outside of your territory, they will be attacked by barbarians and you have to protect them with a warrior. So let's press spacebar to sort of let the settler do its own thing. Okay, now click on a unit needs orders. Press, spacebar. Will it? Oh, that's weird. Okay, press.
Sleep.
Yeah, sleep.
Okay.
Put the unit to sleep, and then it should let you go to the next turn. There we go.
Boom. So right here.
Oh, kill a settler.
Huh?
Okay. Now here's a really. This is a super aggressive strategy, but he left his settler out, which
Yeah.
which
Can I
is
kill him with my scout?
yes. Now
Like
you're
right here?
declaring war on the biggest warmonger in the game, one of the biggest ones, but he's very, as you'll notice, his capital's very far away from yours, so you won't really see the ramifications until late game, and you really set him back. So his warmongering won't be as important to you because you set him back in the early game, so your lead is exponential.
Right.
So it's worth killing his unit.
Where do I attack him from here?
Yes. Move there and then move there.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
War was declared. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye, man.
Okay. Now that's kind of a scummy move, but that's your best
I
bet.
already killed him.
No, you just killed his unit.
Oh, I mean,
His capital is still there.
Oh, I meant like the settlers.
Oh yes. Well, settler's a defenseless unit. That's why I told you
so
to.
it's just like an insta kill.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I told you to move your
Yikes.
warrior on top of it.
Oh, so if he wanted to attack my settlers while it's stacked on, they couldn't actually kill my,
That's correct. Your settler won't die because your warrior's protecting it. He made the mistake of not protecting his settler. Now, we missed it last turn, but our nation expanded its borders to that cotton. And that's obviously going to be a much better tile than 1-1-1. Is you have 2-3, so you have a total yield of 5 as opposed to a total yield of 3.
So take this one out, put it here.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So now our nation is growing, albeit slowly, and we have less production than we had before, but the growth is worth it. Let's go ahead and return to the map and move to the east with both our warrior and our settler.
Is there a way I can like make both go at the same time?
No, you're just gonna have to do it individually.
Are they both two movement things?
Yes.
Okay,
They
so-
both have identical movement patterns.
Okay.
And let's be careful with the trackpad this time, because
Yeah, that could be dangerous.
yeah, that you will lose a unit if you're not careful.
Ooh, wait, what did I need Germany?
You have to go back to the map to see.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you met them on your northern border, which means that. Let's go back.
Like here?
There. That's a German warrior. Now
Oh.
that's nothing to be worried about because a warrior alone will come nowhere close to killing your capital.
Oh.
What is something to worry about though is that barbarian there. As you can see, you're one turn away from producing a worker.
Uh-huh.
That's great for making your city better, but it's horrible when coupled with the fact that your warrior is out
Over here.
protecting a settler. So now your worker is vulnerable to barbarian attacks.
Mhm.
And barbarians are not shy about coming to your capital directly into your city's fire. A good AI player won't just use a single warrior to attack your capital, but the barbarians are a different story, and they will definitely attack your warrior,
Okay.
or rather your worker. So
Choose research.
yes, let's go ahead and grab calendar now, because calendar allows us to build plantations, which you definitely are going to need in order
Utilize
to.
this,
Yes.
utilize this.
Plantations allow you to utilize a lot of resources on the map that you're going to want to grab. So let's go ahead and grab calendar.
Okay.
Okay, now let's be very careful here.
Go around with him.
Yes, because you're currently at war with Montezuma. So move that worker to the tile to the southwest, right there, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay, now you'll see there's a barbarian there. So what you're going to want to do is move your scout to the southwest as well.
Wait, when did I get this?
Oh, I forgot to mention, when you killed the settler, it automatically converted into a worker for you. The reason it didn't become a settler is because how broken and overpowered would that be? If you killed the settler, you just got another free city out of it.
Yeah.
That'd be very
broken.
so. There.
Do I
yeah.
move with them?
Yes, and so here's kind of a tip here. Move onto that hill to the south.
Right here?
Yes. Perfect. So you just met Budapest, and the reason that's a good move is you get more vision, and this warrior cannot attack your worker.
Oh.
Normally, right? He's on a plains, so he can move directly to your worker because he has 2 movement tiles, and he's not moving through a forest first.
Uh-huh.
So normally he could directly kill your worker. But the reason he can't is because your Russian scout is right next to it. So he'll have to, in order to move to that wheat, he'll have to use all his movement points. That's true for any unit in the game, regardless of how many movement points it has. If it's right next to another unit, it will use up all its movement points. That's what this game calls zone of control. Is when a unit that you're hostile to is right next to you and you try to move, you use all your movement points. So
Okay.
so that's sort of a tip there is you get to move your scout there, you get way more vision and it's still protecting your
I got to do
worker.
the test.
That's correct. All right, so let's go ahead and go to unit needs orders.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, what do I do now? Okay, so here.
Yeah, right there with both. All right, let's hope you don't suffer too many consequences for settling here.
Okay.
Next turn.
Boom. Alright, Germany moved a little. Oh,
All right.
Attacking my scouts.
So what you're gonna want to do is heal, fortify until healed.
Okay.
Okay. Now move this unit back west.
The
Yes, the
Warrior?
warrior, but not the settler.
I'm on the warrior right here.
Yes.
The wheat.
Okay. Now press settle that city.
How do I settle here?
Yeah.
Found the city.
Okay.
Right here is where-
Cities, like military
Now,
units, can defend
here's
against attackers.
go ahead and shoot that unit.
You see that?
Yeah. And here's the most important thing you're going to want to do with St. Petersburg. Buy the tile immediately. The dies tile.
Cities
that-
can
that's the one?
bombard besiegers.
And then this one too?
No, the city will automatically grow there, and so you'll just go ahead and get that for free.
Okay.
Just wait till it grows there automatically. The reason you're in a hurry to get those dies is just in case the Mongols were considering building a city nearby. You get the tile, you get the dies immediately. So that's secured as a resource for your nation and not his. So now let's go ahead and choose a production for that city.
Oh. Wait.
So we're gonna want to go ahead
Cities
and
can
build
bombard
a
besiegers.
granary, actually a monument, to get culture, and then a granary. So let's go back to your capital now. It's producing a worker. So what we're gonna want to do is add to queue,
Cities can
and put a
bombard
granary in there.
besiegers.
and,
Okay.
and then go back, but not return to map, just back. And then go ahead and put the granary in front of that worker. We want to grow the city faster than we want to
That
do other
worker?
stuff. Yeah. So now let's go ahead and return to map now.
Wait, did I have a work? Oh, I do.
Yes. So move that worker one unit to the north only. Only one unit.
This one.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Okay. Now go ahead and construct the farm. And I'm sure you're asking yourself, why aren't we improving the horses first? Or those seem like better resources. The reason is, if you move to the horses, your worker won't be able to do anything. If you move to the farm, you can click the construct a farm thing.
Uh-huh.
Let's go back to it, and it'll start moving on there. Now click on it again, on that worker.
Oh. Oh. Oops. Wait. Oh, it's clicking the other worker. Okay.
Okay, now click on that cancel last mission.
Okay.
So what we just did is kind of something that a lot of players don't consider, and that's you spent one turn working on this, whereas if you went straight to the horses, you would have spent no turns working on this. And either way, you would have spent all your movement points going to the horse. So you would have had to wait one turn regardless. Now next turn, you can work on the horses in that same turn,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll still have spent one turn working on this farm. So later on, when you finally do improve this farm, you'll have one less turn to worry about.
Oh, okay.
Super min-maxy, like not a lot of people do that, but we're trying to win here. So
Budapest helped my ass.
yeah, for real, this is kind of a tough situation because that barbarian camp is likely going to keep spawning units. So what you're gonna want to do is just move your worker on top of your scout and have it fortified there.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let's go ahead and sue Montezuma for peace. Let's see if he'll accept it. Negotiate peace. No, he's not. He's not interested in peace. That's very predictable considering, you know, the Aztecs are who they are. Let's go ahead and go back to the game then. Just next turn.
Okay. Since they're fortified, am I losing these scouts or? Chance?
Yeah. So what you're gonna want to do is click on that worker, and normally you don't do this, but sell it.
Sell it.
Go on the more options. Yeah, yeah, right there. And then sell it. Delete the unit. So you're likely going to lose that scout. Now, normally you don't want to, obviously, but you know, it's just the luck of the draw. You just happen to run into a barbarian at a bad time. So improve those horses. The reason you're selling that worker is if Montezuma runs into that same barbarian camp, and he can get his worker back. So you don't want that happening. You don't want him to get any bonuses whatsoever. The whole point of killing him was to set him back. So now that you delete the worker, he won't get that unit back. So now go ahead and move your warrior a bit north to this barbarian camp that you can sort of see in the fog of war.
You want me to fight it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next turn. Wait, what is that? What is that warning to the east? This right. That. What does that say? Can you hover over it? Oh yeah. Go ahead and attack the barbarian. Okay. Not on next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and attack that unit again. So if you'll recall, you still haven't moved on top of the horses. So the reason you didn't want to move to that floodplains right there is
you can protect it.
You can protect your worker, and also you're already across the river now. If you had gone here, you would have had to spend your entire turn just moving over the river. But because you ended over the river, you don't have to spend as much time moving over the river. So let's go to the next turn. So you're not the most literate.
Most literate people.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that's an indication that you're not exactly the most literate. But let's go ahead and move north with that warrior, and reveal if any barbarians are in the area. Okay, now go to next turn. Oh, by the way, you lost your scout, just so you know. If you go north, you'll see that it's not there anymore. But let's go ahead and go to the next turn.
Wait, isn't that?
That's Montezuma. That's his. Oh, okay. So try to see if he'll accept your peace now. He might not still.
Okay, how do I talk to him?
Okay, now propose. Just click on propose. Okay, he accepted your peace, and he's friendly with you now.
Oh wow.
That makes 0 sense, but that's who they are.
Okay.
A couple of strange folks over there. So let's. So now that spearman that you saw earlier, he literally cannot take your worker because you just made a peace treaty. He's not allowed to attack you in any way for at least 10 turns. So with clear conscience, you can go with that warrior to the north.
You're here.
Yeah. There's the unit that's gonna prove to be a lot of trouble for us in the future if we don't get rid of it now. So let's go to next turn. Alright, and you're going to want to attack that unit.
Okay.
So act as if you were moving on top of that tile. Okay, so you took 7 damage and he took 6, so you had the crappier end of that exchange, so you're going to want to go south now.
Oh.
After next turn.
Okay. Wait, what is this?
That's gold.
Oh yeah, because I have the tiles open.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a ring. Put it on. Alright, next turn?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
So teach
Okay,
us.
so now we can improve those that cotton, but let's go ahead and stay on the horses for now. So move your unit to the south and heal up, and let's adopt a policy.
Policy.
Let's adopt that one, yeah. So we get more production, and we get an extra 5 production. You get +1 production in every city and +5% production for buildings in every city. So that's just a great. Considering Russia's a production-focused civilization, that's a very useful tenet to pick up.
Choose research.
So now we're gonna want to get archery, I believe. Well, what do you think? Let's open the technology tree completely. So what are you interested in? Do you want to defend your lands more, or do you want to expand a little bit more?
Can I do both?
You have to choose right now.
Alright,
At the moment.
Mathematics.
If you want to expand, you're gonna want to get masonry because it'll allow you to construct a quarry and get rid of marshlands, which is great for the units that like the stone that we saw earlier. You need masonry for that. You want archery?
Archery.
Okay, let's go with that. That was actually what I was considering recommending, but let's go ahead and go with archery for now. And next turn.
So in like one turn, I get this piece. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now let's move south again.
South with the warriors.
Yes, 2 units or 2 tiles south, but not in your borders. Okay.
Yeah, to not have to cross that.
Okay, and next turn. You just shift enter. It'll do it.
Shift enter is.
Yeah. So you don't have to keep clicking on next turn every time.
Oh well, didn't work.
Okay, I guess it's different
Oh.
for me. Okay, now fortify your unit.
Which unit?
This or fortify until healed. There we go. Now, if you'll notice that unit right there is that tile.
He's done.
Yeah. So now you have an extra production, which adds up. It's 1 production every single turn, which, if you'll recall, that policy that you just got was 1 production every turn. So it's a really, like, 1 production every turn makes a huge difference over time. So now let's move that warrior. Normally we would move it to the north to work on that cotton, but since the barbarian is within 2 tiles, you will lose that worker if you move it north. So let's move south, where you worked on a farm previously, and continue working on that farm.
Okay. Construct farm.
Yeah. All right. Now next turn.
Next turn.
Okay, so now next turn again. So that warrior is the enemy warrior, barbarian warrior, is likely to move onto those horses and attempt to pillage your tile. So what you're gonna want to do is just go ahead and go next turn, and let him do that, because your warrior is a little bit, is way too damaged to do anything about it. So now, oh, okay, he decided not to.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a stroke of good luck for us. So let's go to choose research now, and go to. Let's go ahead and go with bronze working, yeah, because we want to go ahead and be able to defend our cities here. And next turn. Actually, before you do that, let's switch the production from a worker. Switch the production from a worker to add an archer to the queue. Actually, just switch the production from a worker to an archer.
Okay. Add to queue archer.
Yeah. And now if you click on back there, you can go okay.
Cool.
So we should be good now. Let's go to next turn. It's fine. Let's go to next turn.
Okay, next turn.
Okay. So move your warrior unit north again now that it's fully healed.
Warrior north.
On top of that cotton.
Okay.
Okay, and go ahead and click next turn. So what we're gonna do with that warrior is attack the barbarian camp. Now that it's fully healed. Okay, so let's go back to Moscow and make sure we're working the right tiles. Now that we've completed that farm, we want to move the tile from the plains tile that doesn't have a farm on it to the plain tile that does.
Okay.
And we also want to work the cotton and the horses simultaneously.
Okay.
So now we have the yield sort of maximized. Let's go back to the map.
Okay.
And
Does St. Petersburg also have the same deal?
not right now. It's sort of just because it doesn't have any decent tiles to work. You can work that dies if you want, but then I recommend just leaving it how it is.
Okay.
Because it helps you grow your city, which is what you want.
Okay.
So let's go north a little bit.
North.
Let's just keep going until we get kicked out.
Okay.
All right, and so now you should be able to choose your worker to go to the cotton.
Worker cotton. Okay.
All right, and that should be the end of your turn.
Okay.
Okay, now. Oh crap! There's a barbarian right there. Now that one definitely is gonna pillage your horses.
Oh man.
So go south with your warrior now.
Okay.
Just kind of a waste of a turn,
This
but
guy?
yeah.
Okay.
And that warrior will protect your worker as he works on that plantation there. So go ahead and start a plantation. And next turn. Oh wait. You can attack a barbarian from your second city, actually. There you go.
Get out of here. Wait, hold on. I'm not doing it.
One of
right.
these days we'll do it.
Yeah, okay. Boom. I did it.
Okay.